What up, y'all? Another episode of Sports and Layers. It is
What up, though?
May 6th. We're the playoff hunt. We got going on. Rick's been passionate about his takes on JB. I guess we could start there. I also want to kind of go over where everybody's picks and points are at, so I'll upload that. But what other topics we have? Because we're going to talk about best players in the NBA, playoff updates, Lamar Jackson getting paid, and then the NFL draft we could touch on as well. So feel free, anyone that wants to take the floor to do so.
So it looks like the Heat just won. They're about to go up 2-1 against the Knicks.
They're playing right now.
I don't know. It's they about to it's 2-1 the Heat. It's just over. And they blew it's the way that it's shaping out now. It's looking like we're about to have a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
If things work out the way they do.
Yeah, that coming.
But with that being said, the Celtics is up, 2-1 versus the Sixers. Their loss they lost on Monday. They had with Embiid being out, James Harden going for 45.
Oh, wow. Yo, my fault. Bronny James just announced he's going to commit to USC.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I seen that like 5 minutes ago. Yeah.
Okay. So I would say about this is that
damn, why not UCLA? My fault.
They're loaded at.
That would have been crazy if he was at UCLA.
They're kind of loaded at the guard position because I want to say one of their top returning guards stayed, and then they're getting another top recruit.
Damn, I got
one of the top players. I think one of the top players is going there, so they're about to be pressed for minutes at USC.
USC?
Nah, they're ill at all sports. Yeah, I mean the funny thing is,
I don't know.
So they're our rival, right?
They're a football school.
They're more football than basketball.
USC, well, yeah, historically they're a football team. That's fair. But USC and UCLA, they've had good football and basketball programs.
Yeah.
And so, but even when we're ranked and we're blowing everybody out, USC, it's like the Patriots with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They'll still come around and beat us and get us off our street. So it's yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you talk about basketball, like Mayo, Taj Gibson, who is it? Nick Young.
Nick Young, right? Yeah, those
are.
And
who's Bull Center? Vucevic. Is that one of them?
He went to USC. He went to
freshman.
Did he?
Yeah, he's a freshman. 1 year.
I don't know that.
He went to USC.
I didn't know that either. I thought he's probably the best player of the bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out.
Anthony
shout out to
Melton, O'Connell who went there, Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley, Chimize Metu. DeMar DeRozan, Cali's.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan is the best player that went there.
USC and UCLA are just sports schools, period, honestly.
So, they have a few players going through, but I would say that it's more so the name that ring bells for certain guys, but as far as in you're talking about historic, clubs USC they haven't accomplished, much. They have the names,
not
but
UCLA
a lot
of basketball.
Yeah,
they never won a national championship, right?
No,
like that. Yeah, so
no, but if we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna, continue on to the basketball. We're gonna talk about the basketball tip as far as in let's say playoff. And like I said, when we talked about this past week, like I said, let's start we just talked about the Heat. They're up 2-1 versus the Knicks. I mean, I don't know what we said as far as with that series.
I thought Jimmy Butler was gonna run out of gas.
Yeah,
I did.
He missed the game, but
he got hurt.
He missed the game. He got hurt.
We were almost right.
We were almost right, but we didn't expect that the Knicks. I think Randall missed the game too as well, right?
Yeah. So here's my thing with them. Did we overrate the Knicks?
Yeah.
Slightly.
Because this is what I'm gonna read to y'all. Game 3. Julius Randle, 38 minutes, 10 points, 14 boards, 4 for 15 shooting. Jalen Brunson, 38 minutes, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 to 20 shooting. RJ Barrett, 25 minutes. Damn, I mean,
Brunson
25 minutes?
It looks
25
like
minutes?
established himself as the best
25
player.
minutes for RJ Barrett, but 14 points, 5 of 16 shooting.
What's Tibbs doing, man? What's good, Tibbs?
I mean, would y'all agree that Brunson is showing himself to be the best player, or do y'all think it's more?
I think Brunson showed himself to be the best player during the season. But here's my thing with this team is, I'm looking at it where I think it's hard to it's like, damn, were they a bad matchup for Cleveland? Because it's like, damn, they beat Cleveland in 5 games, and I'm looking at these numbers, and I'm just like, what? And that's why, a lot of times when you start to look at playoff, when you start looking at series or whatever the case is, it's all about matchups, and maybe it's a bad matchup for them. But because I'm looking at it, it's not like Jimmy is taking completely over. This isn't like a Jimmy versus the Bucks series where Jimmy was dropping 40 points and 50 points and whatnot.
Right. It's like, are they out coaching them their way into 2 wins? I don't know. At some point, talent gotta matter, right? I mean, Jimmy Butler is the best player in the series, but he's only played he's only played 1 game, right?
2.
He's played 2 games, so he missed it.
Yeah, they won every game he's played. They honestly, game 2 was competitive in New York.
It seems maybe Jimmy's he's the difference in the series then. If he's gonna play, if they can get 4 games out of him, they'll win them all. They'll win the series.
I think picking the Knicks was just blind faith. I don't know. I should have just used.
I thought it was a pick 'em the whole time because I'm like, they just beat the number 1 seed. They just went through Giannis. To me, that leans towards a favorable chance to beat in the Knicks. Granted, you're down, you lost, 2 of your guys, but the way Jimmy Butler was playing, I was like, I think that momentum could carry him. So far, so good.
I mean, that's fair.
This has been a physical series too. That's the other thing, really physical.
If they had Hero, they might shit. I don't know.
It was a crazy stretch that game. I don't know if y'all saw when Brunson had actually taken 3 straight offensive fouls. But
Really?
They reversed the last one on Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent went up for a 3 and elbowed him in the face. And I'm just like, dang, are they just trying to beat up Jalen Brunson right now? Are they what is going on? Dudes are setting hard screens on him, and at that point they were already down 20. But that just highlights the physicality of that series.
Yeah. So I was telling D, this is why I was happy that the Hawks won that playing game. Not necessarily, I don't give a fuck who the Celtics play, but as Del said, the physicality as far as in where the Heat play at, I didn't want that to be a first round series.
Yeah.
Deep into the playoffs, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you're in front of me. My goal as far as in getting to the finals or the ship, period. I'm gonna have to do what I need to do. But the first round opponent,
Yeah,
I need to chill.
they're gonna take a pound of flesh.
Yeah, like they gonna make you feel them, whether they lose or not.
They don't care. You gonna
And it's like, yeah, we may have lost the battle, or we may have, Celtics may have won a battle, but there was some attrition that had came with it. Now, one of your players may got a gimpy knee or a hamstring injury or something going through the playoffs. So it's just like, damn, now you're not at full strength going against the next opponent. And afterwards, so that's the reason why I was like, damn, I'm kind of glad we didn't play the Heat, because of that said reason. If they do, the Celtics, I mean, like I said earlier, if it's looking like that, going to the Eastern Conference Finals as far as a rematch of last year, I feel good about their chances, of course.
Are you sure
but
you're past the Sixers right now?
Wait, what?
I'm confident.
What you just said?
Are y'all sure?
All right,
Celtics
so let's talk about
past the
this.
Sixers?
Let's talk
Yeah,
about it. Let's
They
talk
go
about
what?
Let's talk about it.
Speaking of physicality, though, Celtics Sixers has been a physical series too. I don't know if y'all saw the play when Embiid literally stomped on Grant Williams' head and busted his lip open. Y'all saw that?
I seen that on social media. I didn't see.
He's good.
I missed the
He's
play.
good. He finished the
Why?
game. It was just like, damn.
Is that what really happened? What?
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional. At least it didn't look. It was like every falling down and he didn't try to avoid the bodies with his foot, but his foot landed on Grant Williams' head.
How do you perfectly land on somebody's head? Like, what the hell is he doing?
Play.
That's wild.
All right, so basically, he was trying it for purposes. He was trying to avoid, because JB fell, Grant fell, and him trying to jump over them too. I guess his foot inadvertently,
That's
yeah, the way that it happened.
Well, he could have been.
He apologized. There's videos. He apologized after.
That's good, because that was an ugly play. That's not a bad.
No, he apologized after the Grant. Grant's like, yo,
he's 7'3", 260, stepping on your head.
270. Grant was like, yo, it's all good. This is playoff basketball. I know what it is. But I look at this series. Harden had, and it's a little bit inside of me. I'm happy we're up 2-1, but a little bit inside me still mad because the Celtics should be sitting here 3-0. They coughed away game one. There's a far cry. I want to say those that see them aside with the Celtics is that they're a team that beats themselves because you can look at a game where it's like, oh, so-and-so star players out. They look at it and say, they give a, all right, we don't
play down to
about
competition.
Right.
And exactly, TG. Where if they put their foot on their throat and fucking break it, game one is a blowout. We're not, we're not whatever. But then again, a lot of people question as far as in Joe Mazzulla as a head coach. A lot of people hold Ime Udoka as if was Greg Popovich, and they forget that that was his first go around, last year. And I think that honestly, this was Brad Stevens kind of doing where this team reached 3 Eastern Conference Finals, prior, and it's just they finally broke through. And it was I feel though that if Brad Stevens was the head coach, they would have did the same thing. But everybody now they're questioning Joe Mazzulla, and Joe Mazzulla finally made an adjustment where he's put Jaylen Brown on James Harden.
Yeah.
And with that adjustment, essentially, it erased the abilities of what James Harden can do. Some people are trying to they're trying to give excuses, and James Harden's not trying to admit, but Jaylen Brown picking him up. We seen yesterday. They win the tip.
Yeah.
They win the tip. Jaylen Brown seeks him out. He doesn't wait for him to get across half court. He goes and seeks out. So he understands his assignment, and he's instructing what James Harden wants to do. James Harden is not comfortable. There was a period in the third quarter where James Harden could have a floater, and he kicked it out because he's seeing ghosts.
That's that AD effect too. We could relate to that in LA. So how do you feel about the series right now? You're up 2-1. You said you should have been up 3-0. James Harden, y'all been able to minimize. I like the play of Malcolm Brogdon. He's been hitting on my over bets for points, rebounds, and assists. Tatum's obviously been balling. Here's my thing about Jaylen Brown, because like Rick's been, toting him as the best shooting guard in the league. Obviously, he's one of the better players in the league. I look at him as more of a wing player, and I won't give him I don't think anybody's gonna give him the nod over Jimmy Butler right now. You could argue Jimmy's a small forward, whatever, right? My thing is, my biggest letdown, granted tied to a bet, I don't understand how I think it was game 2 where Jaylen Brown has like 23 points, and he just stops attacking the basket the last quarter and a half. And I'm sitting here, literally, this is the thing I don't like about the Celtics. When I watch them play, I feel like they'll get into these stretches where they literally just give Tatum the ball for like a 4 or 5 minute stretch, and he's just doing all this cooking. I'm like, it's not team ball. Like, why is that? Why are we leaning?
You must be talking about game 1.
So the Tatum stuff I saw in game 3, I feel like they were giving him hella possessions. The JB thing, that was game 2 or game 1, but those are some things I've noticed that I haven't been so excited about. What do y'all think about that?
Okay, so game 1, I don't really mean to cut you off, D. I think game 1, there was a period where JB was hot, especially in the first quarter. He made I think he had 13 or 12 shots that whole game. 10 of them was in the first quarter. It was not something as far as in the defense. It was more so I think JT had 39 points, and it was more so we have to get to a middle point where y'all both can work, where if you're scoring, you're scoring, or you're trying to play make. And they did a better job. They especially did a better job as far as in game 3. But they did a better job during the season. I think they got away from that, where JB's ability was limited, and it hurt them, and that's how they lost.
So what do you think, D?
Well, to your point about Brown, I feel like this has been this was happening with Brad as well. JB will come out hot, and then I don't know if you'll say it's a coaching thing, or if it's Jaylen not being aggressive, or the coach is not drawing shit up for him. It just seemed like he'll start out hot. He'll have like a 17, 18 point first quarter, and then for whatever reason they'll just stop going in his direction. And I don't know why that happens. Like I have no clue.
It just looks so awkward. Like he'll get the ball and just pass it. He won't even dribble. He won't look at the bucket. Like it just looks crazy.
Well, I think it's a lot with the coaching as well. Like I've seen. I mean, you could say he definitely has stages where he just isn't aggressive, but I think they sometimes, for whatever reason, just don't ride the hot hand
right
when he has it going. And I think that's the next If you want to see this team go to the next level, it's like, all right, Tatum, if you see he has it going, take a back seat, let him, facilitate for him, and vice versa. And if they both have it going, then you're not beating them. You're not beating this team. But I mean, they had how many games this year where they both had 30 points. I'm sure there's hopefully a couple of them coming in the playoffs.
Right.
So I mean, well, they're fine. These are I guess good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, they're still growing as together. But
Yeah, I think it's growing pains, man. Like
I would say this. I mean, cut you off, TG, but I know TG had an issue as far as in 3-point attempts and all that. But I would say that with Embiid not being there,
that's a good
they
point.
saw, and it's like, I mean, I don't like you can tip your cap to Embiid. He has a presence down low as far as protecting the rim. I mean, shit, if you're 7 foot, you should DeAndre Ayton. But you should be feared. You should be fearful. I mean, like people should fear you. And I look at it whereas that the Celtics drove a lot more to the basket, where they went away from who they are as a team, and who they are as a team is that they shoot the three, and they got away from that. If they would have kept to who they are as a team, I feel like they would have it would have been a game 2 type of situation in game 1. They got away from it because they saw Paul Reed is what, 6'8" or whatever the case is. Yeah, we can drive, or whatever the case is. But I would just say that like I will dive into as far as in my best shooting guard in the NBA. To me, like I said, I would say TG had mentioned it last week, is Jaylen Brown, because at the end of the day, give me the guy who can give you 25 but can lock your guy down over the guy who can give you 40 and then he is so defense, or he don't really got to put much effort.
Sound like you calling out one guy.
Right.
It sounds like you're only calling out one guy.
Like the Celtics issues isn't Tatum. Honestly, it's weird, man. You can't put it on one thing.
Well,
it's Tatum and Jaylen Brown's lack of aggressiveness at crunch time situations, coaching, maybe even like the bench. Like the only guy I trust off the bench is Malcolm Brogdon. We need more than one guy that we trust.
Not even Rob Williams, though? You don't trust
I trust Rob Williams.
Isn't he starting?
You don't trust Rob? Nah, I think Al's still been starting.
Who's starting?
Al Horford.
Yeah, Derek White's starting.
And White. Yeah, Derek White. No, true. Derek White is good.
2 people out there.
Okay, so 2. I mean, I guess 7 is kind of. I guess that's okay, but damn, you're an injury away from.
I mean,
I trust Grant.
You trust Grant?
I trust Grant.
I feel like he seems like a solid. Like he's out there getting his head stomped on and still playing. Like,
no, I trust Grant. I feel like Grant was a bad match.
Going through anything. But wait, Rick, but going back to your point earlier, you said give me the guy that give you 25 and to lock a guy down versus a guy that'll give you 40 with so-so defense. To me, that sounds like Devin Booker, right? The other player that's really playing the argument. But the thing is, Booker's giving you 40. He's giving you 8 dimes now. He's averaging 36 and 8 with 5 boards. So, like, I don't know.
I mean, they're down 2-1. They're down 2-1. They won by 7. I mean,
fair.
Let's not act
like they both been to the finals. This could be the finals matchup too. Suns versus.
And that's something like, to be honest, I was telling Darian.
I would pray for that.
Darian told me this, and I thought about it.
Let's see.
What's the difference between the Suns team and the Nets team last year?
What is it? What, Kyrie versus Booker? What do you mean?
What's the difference
Coaching?
between the Suns team and the Nets team last year?
I don't know. Coaching. I don't know. Leadership. What are y'all getting at?
But they both
Bro,
have Kevin Durant.
I don't think that the Celtics are a good matchup for the Suns.
No. That's a whole because Devin Booker versus a Kyrie Irving, like makeup is different.
He
I
hasn't
think
seen a
you got Chris
Jaylen Brown
Paul,
defender. He
Devin
has
Booker?
not seen a Jaylen. Tell me in the playoffs who replicates what Jaylen Brown 6'6", 7 foot wingspan. Who has he seen that can put? And you're gonna put Jaylen Brown on Booker, and you're gonna put Jason Tatum on KD.
And they have
And those two are gonna lock up on D, but they're gonna bring it on offense. I'm not sure it can be replicated on the other side.
I don't know if they're gonna you're saying JB and Jason Tatum are gonna outplay KD and Booker.
I'm telling you, on the defensive end, where have you seen that matchup versus that tandem?
How is it? Well, I don't know about the tandem, but for Devin Booker, how is Anthony Edwards? Like, who is? I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's probably one of the toughest people to go against. I don't expect to see Devin Booker ball out against Celtics the way he has against teams.
The pickup game when he played against Joakim Noah during the summer, it told me you can get in this motherfucker's head. Bother him enough, he gonna complain. I
mean, he's light skinned.
And Devin Booker, I'm more confident in Jaylen Brown defending Devin Booker than Devin Booker defending Jaylen Brown. That's what I'm gonna go off.
Of course.
That's what I'm going off of as far as pure ability.
I don't think
is that even going to be the matchup though? Are the Suns gonna?
Because they swept the Nets. Like they're not sweeping the Suns like they swept the Nets. Like if anything, the Suns have more.
Let's see if they can even get past. Like people were talking about Devin Booker as if they're up 3-0 or 2-1 against the Nuggets when they literally that was a must win.
That was a must win.
Yeah, it was a must win. Like we're gonna sit here and talk about it, but that was a must win for that team. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it and I'm just like, when I talk about I'm talking about best shooting guard in sports and I mean the NBA, and D could be a testament. When I love what players I love two-way players. Going back to when I loved young Kawhi, I love young Paul George, Tatum and Brown. Those are my guys. I love guys that put it on both ends. I love guys who put it on defense and offense. I love the guys that are gonna sit there and say, I'm gonna give you 25 and I'm gonna lock up your best player and I'm gonna limit him from what he does. I'm gonna disrupt what you do on offense.
I'll say this: winning the chip definitely crowns JB best shooting guard. That starts to put Tatum in the argument for best player. And I couldn't say nothing against it because that means the way it's looking, you would have to go through a Jimmy Butler and then potentially a Devin Booker or, a Stephen Clay or LeBron and AD. But I don't know if they'll win. How about the Lakers series? Let's talk about the most entertaining series out there.
Okay. Talk about
Lakers Warriors, LeBron versus Steph. First of all, let me just set the level straight here. Everybody's talking about this Steph and LeBron rivalry. Is it a rivalry? Is it not? Steph is 3-1. Blah blah blah. Bro, that's the most misleading 3-1 ever. 2 of those wins were with KD and he joined a 73-1 team. And the other win was when Kevin Love was out for the finals and Kyrie blew his knee out game 1 of the finals. So in 3 of the 4 matchups, Steph Curry's had a way better team. The one time their talent was somewhat equal, what happened? Down 3-1 and you lose the series. So I fully expect the Lakers to come out and handle business. The Warriors are great. They're always going to adjust. The small ball seems to have kind of worked the last game at home. We'll see if they come out with that same lineup again. I was tight because I had hit Looney 5 times on my bet for over on rebounds. He missed the last one because they didn't start him, but yeah.
All right, look for a bronsexual to try to caveat and to make it give excuses.
Yo,
at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it like this. Let's not discount prime Kevin Love and prime Kyrie as if like there are some like role players or something like.
But they were hurt. They were hurt the first series.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, and then all of a sudden,
so you're saying what?
They got hurt the first year. Yeah. They got hurt the first year. They weren't hurt the next year. You won it, and the Warriors said, "All right, bet." They added another. They added a scorer. They added a scorer.
Oh my gosh! They added. And then
they okay. So then
Kevin Durant is level the playing field. Player, are you kidding me?
Yo, they added. Kevin Durant,
they added
and it was a no contest. But we're gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, like
he had Kyrie Irving, he had Kevin Love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Brian,
we're like, Kyrie was what, dropping 40
pointers, bro. 40 pointers.
Game winner in this game 7.
Bro, you have a starting lineup with what, 5 Hall of Famers? Is it Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD, 4 Hall of Famers? Who's Wiggins? He could be. Literally, you got 5 Hall of Famers in your starting lineup,
off,
bro.
Let's temper as far.
Are you kidding? Number 1 overall pick, if not a Hall of Famer.
Andrew Wiggins is not a Hall of Famer. Stop.
Let's stop with the Andrew
Wiggins. He wins another chip with the Warriors. You don't think he's on pace to be a Hall of Famer?
No. Hell no.
Hell no.
Still a number 1 overall pick. So it's
Bennett was a number overall pick.
Is that like a amount of talent in your starting lineup?
What's his numbers for his career? Like what, 15 a game? Solid.
Probably like 17.
17, solid.
I don't know.
We're gonna just overrate Andrew Wiggins.
He's honestly a bust.
Low key.
As the number 1 pick. He's not a bust. He's not a bust as an NBA player. He's a very
sneaky league bust.
He's a bust as a number 1 pick.
He averaged 19 points, 45% field goal percentage, 35% from 3, 4.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1 steal.
Yo, so D, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. D, I remember you mentioning something as far as in like the Warriors found something in game 2, and the Lakers not gonna recover.
Well, even not even game 2. I'll go back to the end of game 1.
Sure.
They had made that run, and it goes to taking stuff, putting stuff on the ball. I didn't know that they had that. I didn't know that would work so well, because that's not typically how they play. It's more about the motion. He's moving around.
They want to hide stuff usually.
Exactly. But it seems to have found something. Del, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts about Anthony Davis. No show in game 2.
I mean,
alternate days.
What was his numbers in game 2? What was his numbers?
Oh, wait. Hold on, TG, real quick. Stephen A. Smith gave a great stat on First Take, because you know how everybody's like, oh, Lakers, they stole home court, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, all these games matter. So AD, all right, there's 32 players in this playoffs that have scored 20 points in back-to-back games. None of those players are Anthony Davis. So and obviously there's no back-to-back games in the playoffs. So that's pretty damning, in my opinion. That's I don't even know what. That's just effort. In my
So
opinion.
I think he had 11 and 7 last game. TG to answer your question.
11 and
He
7.
didn't really play
No,
in the
his
fourth quarter.
floor is JaVale McGee.
No, see that Rick. See, that's where the disrespect.
Dell, can you say that? Can you repeat his box score last game?
I mean, look at those numbers, Dell.
So
Though
here's the here's
Repeat those numbers.
That's disrespectful to McGee.
So all right, I'm gonna go off of what I'm gonna follow the path that D went instead of I'm gonna go with an NBA professional that's respected in the field by all NBA players and all in the space. Kenny Smith, he put it best, right? He said, "Hey, we got to remember Anthony Davis's calling card isn't his offense, it's his defense. His defense has been solid to great every single game. He had like 24 blocks in the first round. So like he's doing his part where he's got people coming in the lane scared, looking back, missing shots that they would normally make. Like his calling card is defense. So yeah, you see him having a 30 and 20 game, and then the next game he'll have 15 and 9, which is cooked, but he'll still have his 4 blocks. He's there for the defense. It's frustrating to see him not consistently. I'll be honest.
The Laker team constructed. Can they afford for him to be their Rob Williams?
No, hell no. Fuck no.
Stop, cut the bullshit down.
Fuck
Niggas
no.
came in the league.
You only got to
they
win 4 games.
him.
You don't have to win every game in the
To
series.
Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett coming into the NBA.
He can take every other game off if he balls the first game and balls every other game. You still win 4. We just need 4.
He needs to be 30 and 15.
Sure, and that's probably what we're gonna get tonight because
you need that. You cannot.
Can we get 20 and 10 at least? Like,
he's not even
for 30 and 15 tonight.
Elton Brand gave you 20 and 10. You know you can wake up and get 20 and 10 from Elton Brand, and AD can't give you that because he's one day he's KG, the next day he's some defensive guy.
Stop comparing him to the JaVale McGee's of the world, please. He's
11. What was the last game? What was his numbers?
7. I didn't know it
was ugly.
JaVale McGee was his last game. Was he not?
McGee would have got more than 7 rebounds.
I'm just saying. Dudes look at the box score, but then they hear names and like, oh, don't disrespect. But I'm saying the box score tells me who he is.
I mean, he's averaging 20 and 15 for the series, so we're doing okay.
I mean, he had 30 and he had half of that.
Because he had
like 80. He had 80% of that.
I'm just telling you his average.
Okay.
That'd be like dude saying Harden's averaging 25.
I was about to say that.
It's funny because Harden's averaging 24 points a game.
Tell me, I'm gonna need you to pull up Harden's stats.
It's 24 points a game. I saw it earlier. I saw it.
24?
Yeah, because of his
45 points. Yeah.
Let me double check status for that series actually, because I feel like
he scored 45 points the first game, and about that. Yeah, nah, that's bullshit.
Right.
Like, nah.
Let me double check because they said that online. That's against James Harden points per game versus Celtics semifinals. In the NBA website, I'm gonna just go off of the NBA website. Because they show the series leaders. So yeah, that is for the series. So if I go to playoffs, and then I go to what is it, Celtics. So first, just to highlight again, AD, what does he have? He's got 20, pretty much 20.5, 21 and 15. That's solid. James Harden is the scoring leader. He's got 24.3 points per game, same as Tatum. That's kind of fun.
That's very funny.
7 boards and 7 assists. So he's averaging the same amount as Tatum. He's doing just as much damage. So that is pretty funny to see that. That's hilarious.
Tatum has 7 in game 2.
Oh, he did? He had 7?
He had 7.
Hold
the
on,
blowout.
y'all getting at y'all. Hold on, y'all.
We blew them out. We blew them out.
He finished with 7 points.
That's 7
Yeah,
points.
he was
Come on,
like,
man.
yeah, he had like 7 shots, nigga.
Come on,
He had
man.
like 7 shots. So
We won our game. Y'all lost y'all game.
My
That's
thing is this: I don't think y'all win the championship if you ride the Tatum wave the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, and it's no team ball. Just give the ball to Tatum, and it's
well,
ice.
obviously, no one's gonna win a championship like
Right,
that.
but that's what y'all are leaning on right now, and it's not.
No, we're not.
I've seen that. I've seen it in games.
What games did you
Everybody
see
move
that
out
in?
and let's just give it to Tatum, and then after he has
No, we're games.
possessions, he might swing it to someone when he's
We're
done with
like, okay, the Celtics has won 6 games and he lost 3. I'm not sure if we'll quantify those. You can look at those 3 losses and sit there and say, oh yeah, they gave it to Tatum and just said we're gonna ride it and we're gonna go ISO or whatever the case is. If you look at last game, there was a lot of team ball. There was a lot of team ball on the defensive end, especially. There was a lot of team ball on the offensive end, as far as in finding the correct shot from going from a good shot to a great shot. And that's what definitely killed the 76ers. If you look at the 76ers had a run where they brought it down to 4 points, and they kicked it out to Al Horford off of a missed shot.
Yeah,
somebody passed to Al Horford.
that.
Boom. 7 points.
Ow.
7 points. And then here it goes. Here what happens when it's money time, give it to your money player. And he's going to pull through. And Tatum outscored the 76ers in crunch time 7-6.
Wow.
That's all I'm just saying, though. It's not. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you could look at, like I'm saying, as far as in all the greats. I mean, shit. Lakers are gonna give it to Kobe. The Bulls are gonna give it to Mike.
So it's funny.
Whoever like is gonna give it to their guy.
Isolation stats, and I don't really know how I guess the frequency percentage. Actually, Tatum's not nowhere near as high. If you combine Tatum's at 15%. The highest I'm seeing, maybe it's because of game 1 was James Harden. Devin Booker is also up there. Jalen Brunson is up there. Let me just filter by points per possession. Oh, I mean, come on.
What are you using? What do you use?
I'm on NBA.com. I Googled like how many isolation plays has Tatum had this year, and now they brought me to some NBA stats that have players, play type, isolation, and it's like for the playoffs. It's a little weird reading this stat because I haven't seen this before. But it's a little weird, and then it's skewed because like someone like Kawhi Leonard, he averaged 8.5. He averaged the most ISO possessions, but he only played 2 games, so it's a little funky. But either way, I mean, Tatum's up there he has like 4 possessions of those, 3.8 possessions, so it ain't terrible. Frequency percentage is 15%. I mean, he's got 1 point per possession, which is actually not bad compared to others, 1.09. I don't really know what these stats mean though, but yeah. Then they got stats on stats. That's crazy.
Excuse me.
So who y'all got tonight, man? Who's taking it?
Yeah.
Dubs is taking back home court.
Yeah.
Worry. So hold on. I want to make a quick point.
Yeah.
This whole notion of I'm not just talking about the Lakers. I'm just saying in general, but like you win a game on the road, you win game 1 or game 2 on the road in the series, and the whole notion that let's say game 1. I shouldn't say game 2. You win game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kind of mail it in for game 2. Nah, all these fucking games matter.
Right.
All these games matter. Like it's no we settle for the split. You can't assume home wins, and you can't assume you're gonna win these games. Every game is a whole microcosm of itself. Every game is one game, and all these games matter. Going back to the Lakers, you look at how LeBron came out in game 2. LeBron was ready. Bron came out. Bron was balling, and if he would have got anything from AD, then the Warriors might be looking at a must-win tonight. But now they're in a position where they can take home court. They have 2 opportunities to take back home court. So, you know.
Yeah, let's think of the reasoning for that. Like, how can AD have such drastic like changes?
He doesn't have heart. He doesn't have heart, bro.
So I'll
Is that how he's been all year? Like,
go ahead, Dell. I want to hear it.
I'll respond to you, but let me start with D first, because I do think teams mail it in once they win that first game on the road, and they don't make it obvious. They try the first half. The first half is usually the first quarter is usually tightly contested. You might even see that road team take the lead. Then you start seeing the other team break out in the second quarter. And by the third quarter, if the team is down 15-20, they're not going to put up the same fight they would in a game that's must win, where they're like, nah, we're going to run our starters to the ground. We're going to try and get – like come fourth quarter, you play guys a couple minutes. All right, let's pack this one in. And dudes ain't playing as motivated. Maybe we were maybe some of it's fatigue where, okay, we're going to run our guys 44 minutes for AD, 40 minutes for LeBron game 1. And then we're going to try to save them some minutes on the back end of game 2 if we get blown out. I do think the sense of urgency changes, because I think once you win that first game, one team is then more desperate than the other. And that's what I think plays out. It's not meaningless, right? It's not literally meaningless. But if you take that L, you still can walk out of there like, yo, we achieved our goal. We took one on the road.
As a fan, do you appreciate that?
I mean, you see it in all the series. It ain't just the Lakers. But do I appreciate that? I mean,
as a fan, do you sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Mail in the game 2."
I mean, are you purely a fan? No, I want to see players go hard every play. As a sports bettor, though,
hey, thank you.
I can better predict it, and I can take advantage of that. But yeah,
thank you.
And then to TG's point, I don't know. AD's just been. I think his again, it goes back to Kenny's point. Like, his offense is a little bit more sporadic than what we think. Like, he didn't come in. I think his numbers, he averaged like really low numbers in college. Like, he didn't come in with his offensive bag the way it is now. He developed over time his offense. That was a little bit unexpected.
There was a Patrick Beverly quote I saw, I think it was yesterday or today, and he basically was like, "There's so many great, amazing players that don't care about basketball." And
it could be AD.
I feel like he's definitely in that. I feel like he was pretty much talking about him.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe he's not as consistent. I think the shining example of that is obviously a Ben Simmons, and we ain't gonna go call it. We're not gonna compare AD to Ben Simmons now, are we? But I mean, I could see it a little with AD. I do think, like, again, defensively, he's always locked in. If I'm AD, I'm probably not trying to go super hard every night either with my injury history, honestly. But that's what it is. He's always there on defense. Is what I'll say to TG. He's always there on defense.
Dell's point was that
he's always defending. AD is always point.
So to Dell's point, can we sit here and talk about AD alternate days, street AK street clothes, being one of the greats? It's kind of knocking him. But to Dell's also other point, as far as in not accepting, as far as a fan perspective, I'm looking at this shit where I'd rather my team go 16-0 in the playoffs. You need 16 wins to the ship. I don't accept losses.
Just win. Just go all out.
I don't sit here and look at losses and say, yeah, you know what? We got home court. Nah, I'm not happy.
True. I think the Celtics, honestly, like,
Okay.
I think we're good. I think we're gonna, you know, I think we're winning our series. You know what I mean? Hopefully the Lakers get
Yeah,
theirs,
I
but
think
That would be it'll be crazy if it's Lakers Celtics, yo.
Yo, it's a Celtics
That'd be
ship to lose,
wild.
to be honest with you.
That'd be
It's a
wild, but
Celtics ship to lose. The Celtics, if the Celtics don't win the championship, it's because they did something. It's because they did something. Is to me, to be honest, I'll just say it out here. It's because them. I don't see any other team that are better than them that can present a different the obstacle, whatever the case is. Because I look at any other team, there's no team that can guard Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but then also you're putting out Derek White, Marcus Smart, and Malcolm Brogdon. I look at Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White and Marcus Smart. That tandem, I'm not sure there's a 3-guard rotation that competes with that in the remaining.
I don't even understand how we even lose game. Like I'm like, bro, like we should have an excellent roster. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Like some of them losses, man, I'd be like, what the hell's going on here?
Exactly, PG. They beat themselves.
But here's my thing. Here's my question to you, Rick. What if it's the Warriors again and they lose to the Warriors? Would you also still say in that sense, in that outcome that is on the Celtics, or would you
no, it's on the
Warriors are the better team?
No, it's on the Celtics.
Twice?
That would be back-to-back years to the Warriors. Like, how can you say you're better than the Warriors?
No, because they added to the team. They added someone like Malcolm Brogdon. I look at them and I sit there and say that, to be completely honest, the way that they match up as far as what they do this year is they're completely. I feel like they're a better constructed team this year, and I don't know. I feel like they can, like, they have no reason to lose this year. No, I'm not giving them no excuse whatsoever. If they lose, they beat themselves, and it's a disappointment. So
do you break it up at that point? Do you break up the duo?
No,
do you
no,
start to break up the duo?
Not at all.
Not though. You could get mad pieces for a JB.
No,
I mean,
because
if they don't win this,
because
if they don't
this
win,
is So here's
don't
my
forget,
point.
we're trying to re-sign JB, man. So we got him.
Here's my point. If they go to the finals, they go to the Eastern Conference Finals, you're talking about Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum have reached like four Eastern Conference Finals.
JB got 75 games under his belt, 75 playoff games, and he's 25.
4 Eastern Conference, 2 finals.
True.
And Jaylen Brown's only 26.
Right.
Jay, LeBron, they ain't seen none of this. They ain't seen none of this.
How old was LeBron?
28, 27, 28 before they got to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
We can't sit here and say, oh yeah, let's break it up because whatever. Like, no, these dudes are literally reaching their prime, and maybe we're excusing their prime where they maybe have reached their prime a little earlier, and they're still getting in the midst of, as far as in, let's talk about not even their prime. Let's talk about their peak. They're not even at their peak yet, and let's ride that
it would
way.
Be like OKC. It would be worse than OKC's breakup. It's funny though. Now that I think about it, if I picture when you talk about their experience, if I picture, oh my goodness, a Jaylen Brown just on the Knicks or something like that right now. Oh my gosh, that would be so scary. If he was actually leading a team, running the helm. Oh my, that would be actually scary. But I would, if I'm a leader in that organization, I want to keep them together their whole career. But at the same time, because you might have someone like the Knicks willing to give you the boat for him because they know how much he.
Because I would say no. Because why would you give up, ponies for a horse? What did that? Unless the guy tells you he's leaving, It makes no sense.
What's better? So you're saying a horse is better than ponies, right? A fully grown horse.
Come on, man. A horse. Come on, man.
I don't know. You got a kid. Oh no,
No, you prefer a pony?
Nah,
if you gonna run a race,
I like stallions, bro. I like stallions.
Stallions,
if you're gonna run a horse versus ponies in a race, who's gonna win, man?
True.
I mean, shit. We over here on a Kentucky. I mean, I don't know if the Kentucky Derby soon or was it yesterday or whatever. Like, come on, man. You talking about one of them horses versus ponies? Come on, man. Come on, bro. But and speaking as far as in ponying up money, the Ravens finally, they finally paid Lamar Jackson. He's the highest QB.
He's the highest paid QB now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Until Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's working on his, right?
Joe Burrow, he
could have waited till Joe Burrow got paid because he probably could get paid more than him. But,
but it looks like maybe some people are saying they lose Jalen Hurts his contract as stepping stool or whatever the case is.
I mean, it looked really cool, like suspiciously similar to that contract. Like, was Jalen Hurts? Was it 5 years, 250, 179 guaranteed or something? Right, 179, and then what's Lamar? 5 years, 260, 185. It's like just everything barely, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, it looked eerily similar. It looked, as someone would say, a player who didn't have an agent.
Wow. I mean, you save that 2-3%, whatever you're sending to the agent, that's millions. You know what I mean? Like, that's like 6 to 10 million you're saving by not having an agent.
But the way I would counter is he was in the same draft class as Josh Allen. Josh Allen already got his deal. Josh already got that guaranteed money.
True.
Yeah.
Josh Allen got that guaranteed money. Guess what else? Josh Allen has the ability to renegotiate his already contract.
Josh Allen was drafted higher, though. That's the thing, because he was 32nd, right? Because Lamar was 32nd. He was the last pick of the first round.
Regardless, they were drafted the same year.
When was Josh Allen drafted? What?
Same year. Josh Allen was 7. Lamar was 32.
7. Yeah.
I mean, we can't get back the rookie contract, but the second contract, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
We can talk about the second contract, and Lamar can't get back that money. That's my issue. Is Lamar can't get back that money if he had an agent.
He still got the 23 million though for the fifth year. He still got the 23 million for the fifth year.
Yeah, but it's not the same as far as in what with the guarantees at the where Josh Allen got the contract. I mean, I forgot the numbers what it was, but it's very substantial. Like as far as in like the money, as far as in what Josh Allen got, where Lamar signed the franchise tag or the 5th year option, it was a lot bigger, and that money, no matter even Lamar got the guarantee contract, it still wasn't the same.
I feel like he made out okay.
That's what he failed at with the agent conversation.
If you look at it, right, like Josh Allen's, I think is like what same thing, like probably like 5 years, 250.
Yeah.
But then he got it like 3 years in after 3 years. So then Lamar got his after 5 years. So Lamar goes 4 years on a rookie, probably like what, $1 million, right? So then so in the 4th year, Josh Allen is making what, 45 annually or whatever. So that year, so it's like Lamar starts off at a $45 million deficit, right?
Yeah.
Then he gets to 23 million in the 5th year, but then Josh Allen's already in another like
47.
Exactly.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, and then Josh Allen is like closer to another year when
Another
he can
deal.
He's
negotiate
only
another
gonna
deal.
max up even higher. Like he's
Nah,
been
honestly, when you think about it, he might have played himself not getting an agent and not
He
getting the
did.
deal after his
Yo,
third
he
year,
played himself.
even
He
though he still
played
got the money.
himself.
Well, I would say he's a pioneer because he's gonna set a path forward. It's gonna be easier, assuming another quarterback down the line does it. It's gonna be easier for the next person to do it. I would hope. Like free agency started because of what Elgin Baylor, having the gumption to sue the owners and stuff, like to break into having the right to be agent. So somebody's got to be that lamb, the sacrificial lamb. I don't know if other people are going to pick up on that trend, but I hope if it does, like maybe Lamar had to sacrifice, sounds like 90 million we just calculated.
Right.
But maybe guys can do their own contracts going forward. I don't know. I think people are
When
going
to. So when you say sacrificial lamb, I'm gonna need Lamar to sit
He
out.
can't get that money back,
I'm gonna need him because look at Zeke Elliott after year 3 sat out and said, "Nah, y'all gonna pay me.
Right.
Y'all gonna have to pay me." So I'm gonna need Lamar to sit there and say, after year 3, I brought y'all to the playoffs. I think the rookie year, I think he got them to the playoffs, and the next year I'm the number 1 seed, MVP. After year 3, I need a deal now.
Right.
I
think that's the issue where
his team didn't have the proper advice.
Exactly,
he should have never played.
TG.
He should have never played.
Exactly, TG.
There's no way you win an MVP
after the MVP year,
and you play another 2 years. Yo, Kyler Murray didn't even step on the field after his 3rd year. He was like, "Nah, I'm good."
He got the niggas in his ear,
and good for him. He got his money, and then he blew
even
out his knee.
even if we could argue and sit there and say, I don't know why the fuck the Cardinals gave him the deal,
right?
But
talking about you need to study.
He got the money.
Right.
That's my issue. Is you can be your own guy.
Just make the right call, make the right decision.
Have the advice in your ear. You can't sit there and be like, "Yo, my mom's my agent."
You gotta have a good team. You gotta have a better team around him. Honestly, his team cost him damn near $100 million.
But it could also be loyalty too, right? He could also be like, "I'm the quarterback. I gotta, suit up. I gotta do this for my team." As much as he doesn't want to play without a contract, sometimes the loyalty can.
That is admirable.
Yeah, and we know about loyalty in fucking sports, bro. That shit get you hurt.
Yo, he's so lucky he's not like through his 5 years, no ACL injuries, he's super lucky, yo. Like
RG3.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like this dude, all he's had what's Lamar had? Like the PCL? What the hell is a PCL? I don't even know. But lucky for him, he's not had no.
Yo, that's in your knee, and people sit there and they minimize it because we've been told since birth, and when we told since we watched the game, ACLs only matter, but all those contribute as far as in how you play as a player. So that's why when RG3 was cutting it out, playing through knee injuries in playoff games when he should have been, they killed Lamar for sitting. It
ended his career.
Right.
And it ended RG3's career as far as him being a starting quarterback.
Yep.
So, it is what it is. Last weekend, like I said, we didn't get to touch on it because it's the midst of it. But it was the playoffs. We had the playoffs, so at the draft. But I don't know what your thoughts about, like TG. I don't know your thoughts about the Patriots draft. How you feel about it?
NFL draft, yeah. Honestly, like.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I saw we didn't take a running back, so I guess that means we got our running back.
Like Patriots, I know our first 2 picks were on the defensive side of the ball. So, that's a Belichick thing, but we got some blue chippers. So that's good right there. But in terms of like fantasy impact players, like there might be some hits in this draft. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm definitely targeting a quarterback,
I mean, that's obvious.
I think we already know who. I think we already know who. You know, there's only one Cam Jackson or whatever his name is. What's that dude's name? The dude that's like
Cam Jackson. Who?
Yeah. So the dude, Anthony Richardson. He calls himself Cam Jackson. You know what I mean? Like a Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson clone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something that came up during the draft process, bro. If that dude becomes anything, that'd be wild, man. Like out of the Colts.
So here's my thing about Anthony Richardson. I feel though is that like he went to a team where the offensive coordinator from the Eagles is now his head coach with the Colts. He ran an offense where he had Jalen Hurts. He has A.J. Brown. He had Devontae Smith. And then he has Quez Watkins. They, with the wide receiver position, they have Michael Pittman. They also drafted Josh Downs, who was a slot receiver in the third round.
He should be a good fantasy impact.
So they can kind of replicate what they are going to do with what they did. And Odell is, I think that was the best landing spot for Anthony.
Yeah, I think that was an ill landing spot for him, honestly. Like,
question
got that whole line over there.
I'm looking at the draft picks. Why did the Patriots take a kicker in the 4th round?
I mean, not even just them. Like San Francisco, I think took a kicker as well. Like in the 3rd round or some shit.
They took the 3rd. Yeah, 3rd.
Like, are these super talented kickers?
I don't think those are good. I don't think those are good picks. Like those are annoying picks. Why would you waste that on the kicker?
So here's the issue. I think that there lies is that I don't think the draft has.
You're breaking up, Rick. You gotta say that again. You say you don't think the draft is.
Draft was good. So the talent in the draft was not really good. Okay. So I think that like a lot of teams from the 4th, the late 3rd round and the 4th and beyond, they were taking undrafted guys earlier, or whatever the case is. So that's why you saw maybe some special team guys go. So kickers, punters, or whatever the case is. I agree. Sign those guys as undrafted free agents. Yeah. Don't waste picks on them. Take swings at other positions.
And I don't care how weak the draft is. Like, why the hell are you wasting picks on?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
What? Like, the 10th pick in the 4th round. It ain't even like the last pick. Like, yeah, top half of the round. Like, what?
Yeah. So I will look at the past draft is we're like I'm looking at it. The Celtics won that game that day. But then they also took Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, cornerback.
Yeah, they took Christian Gonzalez. You're talking about a 6'2", 200-pound quarterback that runs a 4.3. You're talking about...
He's Stephon Gilmore. That's going to be our Stephon Gilmore. Honestly.
Thank you.
He went to Colorado?
Oh, wow. Yeah,
he went to Oregon.
Oregon, Colorado. He went to Colorado and transferred to Oregon.
Oh, okay.
D, you know how I felt about Gilly before in Buffalo, where it was like, iffy. But then you put Gilly with Bill Belichick.
You're right.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer.
Facts.
So it's a little bit different. And at that size, the Pats been missing. They've been missing a corner at that size. They've been on the little shorter side because J.C. Jackson was around 5'11" and all that. And
the dude's prototype. I mean, he's prototype. Like he's Steph Gilmore, should be like, might even be rookie defensive.
You put,
you know what I mean? Like we'll see.
If you put a prototype, if you build a quarterback in the lab, that's him.
You know the kid out of Denver, Patrick Surtain?
Yes. Yeah.
He reminds me of that kid. Like
Yeah.
long,
If you ask D,
shut
that's
down.
my guy. Ask D, that's my guy.
Yep.
Well, just a quick note about Christian Gonzalez. His father was a former UTEP basketball player who played semi-pro in Colombia, and then his older sisters are former All-American track stars at
They got
Miami,
bloodline.
Texas. And
Yeah, they got.
one of them's married to like an NFL quarterback, I guess quarterback David Blah. I don't know who that is, Bloughh, but they're an athletic family.
Interesting. That's good. I mean, this kid might be the best of the bunch. Honestly. Might be the best in the family.
I mean, like as far as it even like when I'm talking about local talent, I was definitely like I was looking at like I've been a Zay Flower fan I've been a late Zay Flowers fan since his freshman year.
That's a fantasy impact right there.
Yo, and they grabbed him, Baltimore, Baltimore grabs him in the first round. They grabbed him.
I'm not really high on like receivers that play with Lamar Jackson, honestly. Like Lamar's been a little iffy, but I'm hoping this year, with that new OC and then with Odell, we should see a whole new like Baltimore offense, honestly.
So TG.
So buy into the Ravens offense is what I'm saying, honestly.
So I would say to you, TG, I feel like with Lamar as your QB, you see that his best receiver has been a 6'6" tight end. And you wonder if he can thrive because I think Zay is a better receiver than a Marquise Brown. But I will say that we'll see. I think Zay's talent is very great. I would love Zay because I look at Zay as a supersized version of Wes Welker and Julian Edelman in the Patriots offense. Is the way that they use slot receivers.
He's been comped to like Antonio Brown. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is he that good? This Zay Flowers or whatever?
I mean, okay. I look at his play style. I look at how he moves. I mean, if you look at his play style, I'm not saying that he can do, but if you look at him and you watch him, he got a little AB to his game. I'm not saying he's gonna be AB, but there's a little bit of AB to his game. But I mean, I just think that but I'm not mad at the Patriots' first pick because at the end of the day, if you can get a top 10 player at pick 17, all that.
Well, why was he available at 17? That's another question you got to ask, but maybe the rest of the league is stupid.
So if you ask that, some people talk about play strength. They talk about as far as can he be physical as far as in tackling ability.
Thus far, the Seattle Seahawks, they get down Witherspoon in the top 10. JSN.
Wait, what happened?
Nah, I was looking at some draft picks info in the music story. I didn't mean that.
Oh,
some random dude, Jackson Smith and the Jigba, who's on the Seahawks. They said he's the most pro-ready receiver. My bad. I
mean, to be completely honest, I think that he's overrated as fuck. Jackson Smith and Jimbo, I think that he was overrated as hell because I just think that he played his most his most productive receiving. He played with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, who were two players who were arguably it was between them two for offensive rookie of the year. So, and then his two best JSN, his two best games one was in the Rose Bowl, and he was mostly guarded by a backup running back, and then playing corners because for transfer leaving or cornerbacks leaving, he played against a backup running back, and then against Nebraska he played against a hurt backfield. I mean, Chris Olave was hurt. So
My mistake.
So basically, I think he's overrated as fuck. He doesn't have no explosive ability. So I think that Zay Flowers is a better prospect.
Who was the first receiver taken though? I think it was JSN, right?
Yeah, JSN. And then Quentin Johnson.
That should be a good fantasy impact.
Quentin Johnson went to
the
the
Chargers.
Chargers.
And
Yeah.
Justin Herbert.
So outside, but I'll say this: I understand the pass draft, I understand their motives, but I'm very intrigued by Kayshon Boutte.
Tayshaun Boutte.
What he play?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued because
Who's that?
he was talked about. You know, he's LSU. He's the fastest LSU receiver to get to 100 receptions.
Damn, LSU.
He's a
Yeah.
receiver.
That's just
Yes.
Jefferson. That's Odell. They're a wide receiver.
Yeah. So
Jamar
no.
Chase.
Jamar Chase. So no, but remember, Jamar Chase didn't play his junior season. He only played 2 seasons. But Kayshon Boutte had an injury in his second year. Then he was coaching change in his third year. He was so. He was looked like as going to be a first round draft pick, a top 10 pick. Like if you're talking about like, you know how people do the early mock draft after the draft, he was a top 10 pick. So he didn't fulfill that, and he goes in the 6th round. I'm looking at him and the Mario Douglas, another wide receiver they took, is like he's kind of like a smaller receiver. He's a slot receiver, a little jitterbug. I'm looking at them too as far as in with the way that the Pats receiving core is, that they can possibly make a team.
Or do you mean
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm not buying any Patriots this year in fantasy. I mean, I look at football in terms of like fantasy, like real football, we could talk about that too, but like for the draft for me, like a lot of these rookies, man, like I'm just really trying to see who's gonna make an impact this year, you know. And I think there's only gonna be one Patriot that's really gonna make a big, you know, impact, and that's the running back. But some of
and
the
that's
other
the argument, and that was the argument during the draft as far as in the Patriots is
they didn't get better
offensively.
offensively.
To take an impact player, other than like when you looked at their team, and a defensive coordinator wakes up on Sunday, fuck, I had nightmares last night. They sleep good. Because when you look at the Pats offense, there's nothing that scares you throughout the week. They didn't improve to that.
It goes back to conversations we were having where we were saying like it helps your young quarterback to build them up with weapons around them. And
exactly.
That's what I chose to do.
Instead, the first 3 picks.
They were taking guards. Like when did they? Let me look at their draft.
Del, the first
defense.
defense.
And then it was like a guard, the first,
The first three picks are defense. Their first pick on offense is a backup center, then a kicker, and then you're talking about 2 other interior offense. They didn't take a weapon until 6th round.
That's wild.
Like a 6th round pick is like literally like not even gonna. That's like your.
It's a lottery
special
pick.
teams. Like
I mean, it is an LSU wide receiver though.
It's a lottery pick. Like as much as I talk about Kayshon Boutte, DeMario Douglas, at the end of the day, those guys are lottery picks. Those aren't picks that you look at and say, yes, he can be that guy. We don't know.
His last name is Boutte.
Yeah, I mean, he from New Orleans or like Louisiana, so you know how they got their like accents and whatnot. So Boutte or Booty.
Better not be playing like booty out there.
Yeah,
it looks like it's just booty. Butte. That's gonna be an easy one for people to pick on. Damn, that's
No, but
Who you think
no,
is
but he's. I would
was
say
gonna
that he's different from what the Pats have usually took. Late as far as in late round guys, but at the end of the day, we'll see. But we'll see. But
best case scenario, he's the wide receiver 3, like
yeah,
on the team.
That's cool. I'll say best case scenario, he's wide receiver 2, but I would rather them.
If that happens, that means Thornton's a bust. You got him in the second round.
Yeah, if Thornton is wide receiver 3, I wouldn't say he's a bust if Thornton was wide receiver 3. I wouldn't say that. If he's wide receiver, I don't know. The way I just look at, I understand what you're saying. That's another thing too, TG. What I would say though is that there's a fall cry as far as in what us Patriots fans are saying. Why didn't you go after a wide receiver earlier? Why didn't you do this or that? And maybe the question is that they're putting all their eggs in the basket as far as in with Thornton.
Maybe. There was like 3 or 4 wide receivers taken in the first round. So what's up, dude?
I'm not gonna get mad at the first round draft pick because I love Christian Gonzalez.
Nah, that actually was a solid pick. I'm cool with that pick because like that's a Stephon Gilmore. But like the other, like the second and the third round picks, like another defensive player, and then like we thought you could have went dynamic, but
so you're gonna look at it. I know we haven't touched on it, but like Aaron Rodgers finally got traded to the Jets.
Man.
So now you're talking about in the AFC East, you're talking about Tua, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Jones.
So we have the worst quarterback in the division.
So
by far,
let's see how it looks.
He couldn't start on another team in the AFC East. That's crazy.
But also we're looking at the fact that we're adding Bill O'Brien. So you're adding an offensive coordinator. So you're essentially adding something, and I think that's what they're looking at and saying that that's a key, adjustment to their team, addition to their team versus like whatever the case is, because they obviously didn't do their job as far as in adding an offensive coordinator last season, and we've seen that their offense was putrid. So that's what they're going at.
Was offensive.
Yeah, but I'll say this as far as briefing out the Pats, and I'll look at like someone like the Eagles. They got arguably we had talked about Jalen Carter before, and the Eagles, he fell right into their lap. They got him, and he fell into a great situation as far as with them, and he got veterans around him. Whether you worried about his off the field, and he got veterans around him. He got guys who can, sit there and sit here and show him the way as far as in the NFL. So he got, he fell into a situation.
There weren't many blue chip players in the draft. There weren't only a few. He was definitely one of them, and the Eagles got him. So they got themselves a blue chip prospect in a slightly weak draft. So,
the rich get richer.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like the Eagles are going to be right back there. And honestly, so who you guys think out of this draft is probably going to be close to winning that rookie of the year or whatever? Is it going to be Bryce Young? Is it going to be maybe somebody an X Factor coming up to cut? Maybe it's too soon, right? We don't really know too much about this.
I look at it like Bryce. I feel like Bryce, they said that Andy Dalton is the starter, and I feel like, let's stop fucking around.
Who's
Start
the number
Bryce
one
now.
pick? You're not sitting the number one pick.
Start, yeah. And
All
then,
those
some
top,
people try
those
to,
top four
sit there and say,
quarterbacks that got drafted, they're all starting. All four
yeah,
of them, I believe.
like somebody tried to say, oh, the Bears started Andy Dalton when they had Fields, and it was just like, yeah, Fields was 11th. He wasn't number one. Start your number one guy. Start him now. Let's get it over with. Like let's see what we have. Yo, at the end of the day, but I would say though is that like I mean, the way I look at the draft, like the more and more I looked at it as far as in the talent, like TG said, it was a weak draft. When I looked at CJ Stroud, I looked at Bryce Young. I understand the limits, like as far as in like I understand the floor of Anthony Richardson. But his ceiling is so high that I would have took a swing at Anthony Richardson if I was the Panthers.
At number
one? Yeah. Because I look at what Bryce Young, because first off, Bryce Young is a anomaly because he's 5'10". He's 5'10" and he's going to be 190. I don't know any other quarterback was ever that size.
Damn.
He's a 1%. Drew Brees was even that size.
Right.
And then if you're talking about, okay, he can be Drew Brees, like you don't have any other examples to say like, okay, he can be that quarterback. He can be this quarterback. Like, no. Oh, you're just hoping to be Drew Brees and that's it. So
he was pretty healthy in college. So, I mean, he was pretty healthy in college. So,
no, for sure. He was pretty healthy.
I don't think he missed a lot of games like that.
But even when you took Kyler number one, like I'd be contemplating dressing my son up in the Kyler Murray jersey for Halloween because I don't know who is the ex cornerback that like was on Twitter was like, yo, when Kyler Murray running, he looked like a badass taller running away from you. And he does. Like he does.
Yeah, he does.
Kyler Murray look a badass toddler.
He be different.
and Bryce Young doesn't have that ability. He doesn't have that ability. So if I look at traits compared to the draft, honestly,
but he's got processing ability though. He's supposed to be like a super crazy processor.
For sure.
Gets the ball out. Like a Tom Brady, get the ball out quick.
For sure, but he's 5'10".
Can you see over the line?
But even being mad short,
that's
he
exactly what D
very good at throwing the ball over the middle.
Exactly what D said. Can he see over the line?
No, but to your point though, like he's apparently very good at throwing the ball over the middle. Which is his
to
like
your point,
shorter
though, as far as
quarterbacks
him
have difficulty doing that.
So
and he doesn't get many balls batted down either.
So to your point, TG, is that he was hurt last year. He had a shoulder injury. So Bryce Young, he had a shoulder injury. He got dinged up. So
but he didn't really miss any games, did he? So
yeah, and it's the NFL now. So if he gets that pounding, can he take it? That's all I'm saying though, is that like as a draft process going on, as far as in the quarterback position, like I'm not sitting there saying Anthony Richardson is going to be the end all be all or whatever, but I'm more willing to bet on a 6'5", 244 quarterback who can run a 4.4. And who got a cannon to sit there and say, yo, I can teach him the quarterback position where if he figures it out, we're to the shit versus the quarterback who got a ceiling. That's just me.
I think Bryce Young will be all right. I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I like Anthony Richardson too. I like Anthony Richardson too, but Bryce Young the only thing is just like his weight and the height, but other than that, he checked off so many boxes. Like, I think he comes in with like over 80 touchdowns. Like, I think Anthony Richardson has like what? Not even 20 touchdowns in his career. Like he played like what 13 games. So it's like it's not even close. Like, so in terms of production. But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
he's raw as fuck. He's raw. Richardson is raw, and that's what you're making.
Bryce played in the SEC. He's been battle tested and all that. He's been playing against NFL, competition, and I mean, it's not like there's never been short quarterbacks like in the NFL. Like it's gonna be like the first, and he's gonna be in the league, and they have a good old line, and we're gonna see him play, and he's gonna ball. And it's just gonna be about how much does he ball. Like, what I mean? It's just gonna be about how ill is he. He's gonna be good.
I would say this. I would say this because
they wouldn't take him number one.
I would say this as far as in like as far as like Dean knows, Darian's brother, he's going to BC. He's gonna be a freshman this year. I got a little cousin who's a highly recruited player in the nation, and 7-on-7 football. Like when we were growing up, there wasn't really much of that, but 7-on-7 has made football as far as in like it year round, and I feel like that made someone like Bryce Young be able to play the game. Because now, like, quarterbacks are coming more ready because they're playing year round opposed to just playing during the season, where like quarterbacks may have been just playing during football season. They may play and then they may transition to baseball or whatever the case was. But also, it's about space. And now 7-on-7 also created a situation when we talk about basketball, positionless football. Now that's how you create guys like Deebo Samuel. You got Alvin Kamara, and that's why I think that the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama, 12th.
Fantasy impact.
Falcons took
Damn.
Robinson. The Falcons took Robinson as second. With 8th overall.
8th, yep. That's another fantasy impact.
Yeah. So essentially they're looking at that and saying that he's not a running back, he's an offensive weapon. We can play him in the backfield, we can flank him outside, whether it's a slot or outside the numbers. So I think that like 7-on-7 has increased that ability now, where we're more so looking at offensive weapons opposed to, let's say, positions.
Positionless football. Wow.
All right, fellas. This has been a good one. The Lakers game is gonna start soon. I know I gotta start getting ready.
8 or 8:30?
8:30 for y'all. So yeah.
Is it gonna be 8:30?
It's like 8:40.
Is it gonna be 8:30 or is it gonna be like 9 o'clock?
It started like 10-15 minutes later, honestly.
Yo, the Celtics game said 7:30.
When it started?
Yo, it started about 7:55. Like I was like,
when you go to the countdown and you're on time and it's like 15 minutes, I'd be like, dog, why put just start.
Yo, down. I felt the same way yesterday. I'm like,
damn.
Yo, usually I give them like 10 minutes. Usually during the season, it says 7:30 tip, 7:30. I'm like, all right, they're gonna start at 7:40. I went to the countdown show. They said they were like, no, I went to the countdown show. It was 7:42. They said 7 more minutes. I was like, damn. What we doing?
All right, I hope they start Draymond. I hope they go back to the small ball lineup because I have bets on Draymond over on rebounds. But I guess we'll find out. I don't know. They haven't said anything.
What's the over on rebounds?
7.5.
Is
So
that Prize Picks?
oh, so let's talk about. I'll tell you some of the bets I have. We'll talk about betting a little before we drop. But like I won't say I finally figured it out, but I have some friends that are, heavy into betting, and my strategies have changed a lot. It's different from fantasy. Um, I kind of spread my bets out a lot. D, you mentioned putting smaller amounts on bets, like 25 to 50. I basically do that. Today I got a couple hundred up in like a lot of my bets. I got bets on Draymond getting over 7.5, over 10, over 11, over 9. I got the Lakers winning, so I'm taking them with the spread -3.5. I got them winning the first half. I got Jordan Poole going under his 14.5, but the way I see this game going, I reflected in my bets. I see the Lakers winning the first quarter, first half. Maybe the Warriors do their thing the third quarter like they always do. But I parlay. I mean, I feel like if you spread your bets out and you don't tie too many bets to one thing, like recently I got screwed because I put in a bunch of bets on Looney going over 12.5, which he was clearing. He was getting like 20 a game, but then they switched the starting lineup, announced it an hour before the game, and I was tight. Like he only got like 20 minutes that game, bro. He still got 8 boards, but
Sometimes you gotta wait until like
like the
before the
last
game.
minute.
Like
So-
because you gotta. It's annoying, but you gotta do that.
So we'll see. As I keep winning, D, I'll put you on to some of the strategies, but I've been on the up and up so far the last few weeks. So I'm just trying to keep that. Prize Picks only do Tuesday and Friday.
All right, yeah, that's my problem.
What do you bet on?
Every day.
DraftKings?
So I use I have a website that a bookie uses because
I got
United States don't have it, don't allow you to use FanDuel and all that. But I do. You Prize Picks you can use in a lot of states. That's just player props you pick, but they'll give you bonus. They'll skew the odds in your favor on Tuesday, and they'll give you a free bet on Friday. So Tuesday, sometimes at one point they had Steph Curry over 0.5 points. Right. And I think his normal was like 26.5. Like obviously Steph Curry's gonna get 1 point unless he gets hurt from the jump. So like they're giving you a gimme bet or a bet with favorable odds, and you typically got to pair one other bet with that player prop where you think they do over or under either points, rebounds, assists, 3-pointers. You can combine stats. So like for me, it's like I would combine that Steph Curry one with the Kevin Looney one. Boom, that's a guarantee.
3x. 3x, basically.
And then you get 3 times your money.
Yeah.
Like, who am I not gonna combine that with consistently? AD points. No, you know what I mean? He ain't.
How do you feel about AD's props tonight? It's an odd game, so he has
took
the
him,
ball, right?
I took him on the over for rebounds, actually. I think I took him did I take him? Oh, shoot, I'll take him right now. I got him going over on rebounds. I have him going over 14.5 rebounds, but I don't think that's the over under. I think I boosted that up because I think he's gonna ball out.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget Dell has him being superstar, then being role player.
I mean, he averages 21 and 15 on the series, so
2 games. He has 2 games.
Yeah.
We dispelled that with the Harden shit.
let me see what the
His fantasy score is like 55.5. I'm like, damn.
rebounds. Anthony Davis is over under. It is 14.5. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to put. That shows you how much trust I have. I can't put another bet on him to do that. I'll live with the one I got, and hopefully that hits. But I'm not about to ring up multiple bets on AD balling when he's been inconsistent.
Damn, he's not confident in AD.
Nah,
That's crazy.
You're not in must-win territory yet, but I mean,
I just don't know if he's gonna get 15 boards. If it was over under 12.5, I would be more likely, or 11.5. But
Okay,
15,
Dell. So Dell, before we wrap this up,
yeah,
we're gonna speak on that Lakers game. And this is like you said, Y'all won last game. Game one. Your component, I disagree. That was a meaningless game, as you said in a text message. So this game, as we look at it, Lakers is 1-1. They're at home.
Everything.
Okay.
We need these next two games. Honestly, we need to go up 3-1 against these Warriors. We don't need to play around. We don't need to play without food. Definitely, if it's 2-2, okay, we'll live with it. But like, we really need to close these guys out. Like, I'm not trying to be in the position like the Celtics where we gotta win on the road. Like, I think we win this game. It's game 4 where it's like, are we gonna get AD to show up? Hopefully the role players, Roy Hachimura, oh my God. Bro, he's been a lifesaver. He's been balling off the bench. Austin Reeves has been looking good. I want to see a 30-piece.
Stop it.
At some point
in the
postseason, please.
Stop with the fucking Austin Reeves shit.
What?
Stop with the Austin. Stop it with the Austin Reeves shit. Like I was gonna say something before you went into that.
Heard himself a contract. He's definitely made himself some money.
Oh, he's a baller.
We went to the Austin Reeves
Austin
bullshit.
Reeves so much, bro.
So here's my thing. Austin Reeves, since I think they said like game 1 or whatever, it says Memphis, he's been shooting like 29% from like it was something like from 3, and he's been averaging 13 points.
We'll take it. We don't need a lot.
Listen, no, I'm not talking we take it, but I'm saying though is that he's not getting the same. Roy Hachimura is not getting the same love coming off the bench as Austin Reeves is, as far as him being a role player. I don't know. Seems funny to me.
He's waiting in the point.
It seems funny to me. Do you know how I feel about that?
The thing is, I'll say this to that. Reeves is more homegrown. Like, he's been there 2 years. He's undrafted. If
Reeves was traded, he would be getting the same love. I don't know. If Reeves was traded from the Wizards to the Lakers, he would have been getting the same love. It's bullshit.
That's hypothetical, but
it's the white man is balling. It's the white man's balling. Let's call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
There's a lot of white dudes balling, bro. It ain't like
Who?
it was 10 years ago, bro.
Who American white? Not no Jokic and fucking.
Who's the American white man that's balling?
Now you're
exactly.
Tyler Hero. That's it.
I mean, what's his name on the Bulls? Alex Caruso.
No.
Where did he play?
Stop it.
How did he get his name? How did he get his name? Because he played on the fucking Lakers.
No, say the truth. He played with LeBron. You know what time it is.
He played on the Lakers with LeBron.
That doesn't hurt.
Exactly. He played with LeBron.
It doesn't hurt.
Austin Reeves, no, but Alex Caruso is legit. He's an athletic wing defender who can ball. Like, who can who can lock down guys and play good offense. He high IQ player. But Reeves can drop 25 on dude. Like, if Reeves goes out and drops 25 tonight, what are you gonna say, Rick?
Do it again.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Roy's got to just keep proving it. He's not homegrown, so that's the difference. But I think both those guys are working contract for next year. I really like what I'm seeing from D'Angelo. He needs to be more consistent. D'Angelo Russell needs to be more consistent. Vanderbilt.
I think it'd be a bad idea to take his cross today.
But I will say before that, like I told you, with the the Memphis series. I mean, even this playoff series period, it's role players. I would look at game 1 versus the Celtics in the Philly. DeAndre Melton was like 5 or
Melton's been balling for Philly, yo.
No, but
defensively.
I mean, but I'm talking from offensive, like 3-point percentages, like he won't replicate that same game as he did game 1. And that's where role players become a factor, is that, can you give me that game? That one game where it's like, damn, we lost by 4 points. But then you look at the role players and you're like, what the fuck? He had how many points? And then you look at the other games and this guy got 7 points, 11 points, but then he got that one 25-point outburst, and you're like, wow, said player was in foul trouble or not playing or whatever the case is. That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's where, role players definitely do shine. So it's gonna be about the stars. And I think that the Lakers are scared to death of Curry. That's why they're doubling him, and they're forcing him to, look for
respect. What are you talking about? Scared to death. It's respect.
You say respect. I say scared to death.
World's great. It's respect.
You say respect. It's scared to death.
We have a healthy fear. We have a healthy fear.
We're parsing words. We're parsing words. You say respect. I say scared to death.
That's two totally different things. Rig. You're being this. Yo, D, the Lakers every way you can.
D, what'd you say?
No, I just said they should be scared.
Yeah.
They should be scared of.
Yo, TG, what would you say, TG?
Yeah, I'll be scared too, honestly.
Yeah,
that's
if y'all face the Warriors, you don't think y'all gonna be playing a similar way? You gotta be that. But to me, he's the head of the snake. Like Clay can go.
We can't disrespect Golden State.
Right, like Clay can go off. Cool. We can as long as Steph ain't the one doing it, because that's when the crowd's into it. He's shimmying. The whole team is hyped up. Clay. Well, the guy's cool, go off. But Steph, that's the guy. You got to cut the head off the snake.
You're scared to death.
Actually, you kind of don't want Clay to go off, because he could go off for 60.
He can give you 50, 40.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if he could do that anymore. He could give you 30. I don't know if he could give you 50 anymore.
He could still give you 40.
Shit, if he got Austin Reeves guarding him, I'm not sure,
He could give you 40.
I mean,
he'll probably give you 40.
The last time Clay dropped 40,
Tonight.
When's the last time Klay Thompson? Y'all talking? Nah. Let me not compare.
Somebody's going for 40 tonight. That's my.
So essentially, this is the thing.
Bold prediction.
We can end it on this.
Gonna be LeBron. Okay.
So we can end it on this.
Wow, never mind. Damn, Klay dropped 40 in February of this year, February 24th. It was against the Rockets.
So this is what we're gonna essentially end it on this is. Alternate days is essentially the key.
Damn,
he's the key to the Lakers winning it all, period.
He dropped 54 this year. What? All right.
He dropped that.
He dropped 54 this year?
Yeah, he dropped that around. I want to say he dropped that around when Donovan Mitchell had 71.
January 22nd. Damn.
The Jimmy didn't go anywhere.
My fault, Klay Thompson. No disrespect. My bad, bro.
No, basically the Lakers are dependent on alternate days. They're dependent on alternate days.
Who always defending? You mean always defending?
No, alternate days.
Street clothes.
AK street clothes.
You mean the Browns?
Yeah, so they're dependent on him to carry the ship because you'll look at his great days, but you'll look at his JaVale McGee days, and you'll rather his great days versus his JaVale McGee days. So if he's JaVale McGee tonight, it's looking bleak. So you better hope that he comes out and he's a top 75 player versus, just a regular role player. That's what you're looking for.
Going for 35 and 13 tonight.
Okay.
35 and 13.
You need that.
You would need all of that.
You need that.
And we're
what's crazy.
We're gonna smoke them tonight. We're smoking.
You're
bugging me on that.
We're smoking on the Curry and Klay factor.
Would they lose? Would they lose by 4? The game 1 or it was 4?
Yeah, that was in the new Oracle Arena.
With vintage
in the new $1 billion Oracle Arena. Yeah,
vintage AD, you lost by 4 with him putting up those numbers. I mean, you need at least those numbers to put you in the game. If he don't give you those numbers,
you're done. Crazy because our role players are gonna step up this game too. Watch out for D'Angelo Russell. Watch out for Austin Reeves. You already know what Roy is about. Like AD giving you 35 and 13 is what's gonna make it a 20-point game. I think it's gonna.
Oh, so okay, so I that's okay. Okay, let's okay. I don't know if we even know if we even gave. I don't know. Okay, it's what right. I don't know if we even gave. I don't know if we gave a series for the team. I mean, because they weren't locked up the last time we talked.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
Oh, like
I'm gonna say I was always gonna say the Warriors in 6 versus whoever. Whoever in 6. It was whether the Kings or the Warriors in 6. So I'll say the Warriors in 6, right? What I'm gonna say is that because Dell likes to be to the T. Dell's calling a blowout in game 2. Dell, that's an extra like 10 points if you hit on that.
Okay.
How much they gotta win by?
He said a 20-point blowout.
I'm saying it's a 20-point. I'm gonna say it's a 20 point.
He said 20 points.
Should we count? But for the point scoring, should we count like a 15+ blowout if someone predicts it as a win or not? Y'all want 20 point?
No, I'm counting it as I'm putting that as. So if Dell, you're saying I don't know what your numbers are. What are you saying as far as in their win total as far as in the series?
I see Lakers in 6 or 7 if I got to pick right now.
No, we're picking now. Let's pick right now. Dell, what you got?
All right, so hold on. I'm going I'm going to respect Curry. I'm going to go Lakers in 7.
All right. D, what you got?
Damn. I'm gonna go Dubs in 7.
TG, who you got?
I want to. That 7 is just me, I guess, respecting LeBron. I guess.
DG, who you got?
I'm gonna go Lakers in 7.
Hey,
really?
I got love.
Just because of LeBron, man.
I got Dubs in 6.
Yo, this is a legacy game, dog. Think about it. Like, if LeBron loses this game, they're talking like, yo, Steph Curry could challenge him in his.
No, stop all that talk.
No,
LeBron needs to dead that talk.
This is a Mount Rushmore.
That talk is more annoying than Dylan Brooks. LeBron's gonna handle it accordingly.
This is a Mount
Rushmore. I got Dubs. I got Dubs in 6. So essentially right now.
About Dubs in 6, bro. So after we win tonight, you see them pulling off 3 straight, really?
No, they're gonna win tonight, and then y'all maybe win tomorrow, and then they just finish off the last 2 games. So after this, call me Mr. So call me Mr. Cleo, and but as far as what we're talking about,
Cleo was a damn fraud.
Dell, you get but Dell, if they win by 20, if they win by what you say, let's put it at 15. They win by 15 plus. Dell, you get an extra 5 points onto the board for you.
Extra 5. Okay, so if we call out a blowout, we'll give a bonus 5 points.
Yeah.
What if the Warriors blow the Lakers out tonight?
Oh, so how about that? -5.
So hold on. Nah, it's only for that person that's willing to put their whatever.
Their money.
So,
okay,
no. Let's do it like this.
I'm not calling it, but I'm not calling it.
So let's do it like this. If you call the blowout, if it doesn't happen, you lose 5 points. No matter what the series. No matter what the series look like, you lose that. If you're gonna gain 5 points because you call something, you're gonna lose some.
I like that.
Yeah, you have to.
So then you're basically just but you're calling a blowout for 1 game though in the series, right?
Yeah, no, but you're gonna lose points on the series.
Okay, so I could win 5 or lose 5 tonight, whether there's a blowout or not.
Exactly.
All right, that's cool. I live with that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm already behind, but I'll live with that.
No, and that's another reason. Go all in. What's up?
Yeah, Philly in 6. I don't think that's gonna happen. But
Damn, Miss Cleo had to cancel 500 million in customer bills because of
Bro said Philly's gonna win the next 3 games.
yeah,
Bro.
you say you're a fraud, basically.
right. Miss Cleo is doing jail time.
All right. So their game's about to start in like 20 minutes.
Hopefully 20 minutes and not 35. Damn.
Yeah. The way ESPN
But
is doing.
it's on ABC. This one's
Yeah,
on.
exactly. I mean, shit. Just ESPN, ABC, same shit. So
Right.
like, yeah. So we'll see. It was definitely, we definitely had a great show today.
Nah, this
so.
was a good one.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man.
All
Let's
right,
go Lakers. Everybody's rooting for the Lakers.
No, fuck the Lakers.
And we-
Fuck LA. Fuck LA.
All right.
We're
sir.
so fuck. You know how we're so fuck LA? The filler. We emphasize LA in that shit.
Wow.
Filler.
In the Philadelphia,
saying, bro. What are you?
fuck them.
That's why y'all trying to beat Philly because they got LA in their name. You're fucking.
Yeah, fuck that.
All right, we'll see y'all in the finals. We'll have something for y'all.
Hopefully we'll
you got
see
that
y'all.
Dylan Brooks energy right now, bro. You got that rich Dylan Brooks energy.
All right.
Till next time, man. Peace.
Yeah.